Hey boys, welcome back to some more Nrl Supercoach 2024, and it's going to be the round 4. Yes, round 4. Round 4. I was thinking round 3, but no, round 4 review, and it's a bit of deja vu. I think we scored... I think it was nearly the exact same as this, 1,063. Again, we did jump in ranks. We jumped up 15,720 spots. I was a little... Again, this week I wasn't sure where I was going to be sitting because... Once again, the captaincy screwed me, but I did have some decently high-scoring players and a couple of duds thrown in. So, honestly, if we could have nailed the captaincy every week, we would be sitting fairly high up. And that's, I mean, I don't want to keep banging on about the captaincy rule in Supercoach because I know I did it all last year, and obviously it's a little bit more biased this year because the captaincies have failed me. But I just can't understand why the captaincy rule is such a big impact on Supercoach, and no one ever brings it up. But like, your whole season, your whole week is dictated by who you select as a captain, and more so, like, obviously that's RNG because you usually have like 2 or 3 good players to choose from. But more so, the thing that I find just ridiculous with the captaincy the way it is you, like, most teams will have like 3 players that they're more often than not keen to captain every week. So let's say you got Ponga. Let's say Ponga, Cleary, and Hines on a set week all have good matchups, right? You captain Ponga, even if he goes decent, even though Cleary and Hines are in your team, you're death riding them to not score well. That's fucking insane, right? The fact that players in your team, you don't want them to go well because you didn't captain them. Like, I don't know. I think it's a ridiculous... I just do not like the captaincy rule in Supercoach, but it is what it is. Obviously, I'm salty because it's screwed me over pretty much every week so far in this season, but, you know, it is what it is. We'll get one. We'll get one this year, I'm sure of it. But let's go through the finer points here, talk about what we're looking at briefly. So Reece Robson 51, back down to earth a little bit. Same with Appy Coruscant. So I did end up boosting. Obviously, of course, got rid of Denny Levi, and he goes crazy. He scores another try, but he also just had better base, so he scored like high 60s. It's fine. I mean, at the end of the day, obviously you didn't want to keep Levi long term. If he keeps scoring tries, then he'll keep making good money. But yeah, Appy Coruscant in the team, I feel good about it. He's a play in your 17 pretty much every week. Maybe if he starts going poorly, you could sit one of your one of your hookers. But now we just have better depth in the squad if there's a couple of players missing. So I'm still happy with the trade. It's just one of those ones. The people that went Levi to Lussick, holy, that has turned into an absolute shocker of a trade, because Lussick, I don't know. He's looked pretty good, but he did have those attacking stats. And then on the weekend, Brendan Hands was on the bench and he came on. I think Lussick still came on like late in the game, so he still played good minutes. But yeah, his base is really awful as well if he's not scoring tries and getting try assists. But that's dummy half. It's a 50-50. Our front rowers, oh baby, the front rowers are just a godsend. I didn't expect to be in a position like this with the front rowers. 2 of them. Liam Henry, 50 points. What more can you ask for? A bench front rower coming on and like making 30 odd tackles, 10 runs. The man's a machine. And a bottom dollar cheapie, I think he was. Like, what a fucking savior. And then Terrell May, 77, a bounce back for him. He played huge minutes, pretty much all in base. Just, again, massive engine. Farmasili still not back, which is I'm fine with. Sam Hughes, he's got to go. What a shambolic performance from Sam Hughes. It's not really him. He's just... I feel like he played like 10 minutes. Like, I don't really understand what's going on. He played, 27, 23, 19, and 14 minutes. He's got to go. And there are a couple of good cheapy options, or one in particular that hasn't changed price. So I think as much as I didn't want to get in another sort of cheapy front row option, I think you got to. I mean, unless you're going to go up to a gun, which I don't want to do. I think I'm just going to go sideways to a cheapie and, Xavier Willison, the man in question. And I think worst case, Willison might, I would be shocked if Willison goes out of the team, but he's just got such good PPM. He's got a bit of attack in him. So the minutes will drop when, Payne Haas comes back, but I still think Willison is the play. I mean, we'll look at other options potentially, but I think Willison is the guy there. Because again, I just don't want to spend money in the front row, especially because I'm getting such value out of my other guys. Obviously, when the Roosters or the Panthers are on a bye, we'll be a little bit in trouble, but yeah, it is what it is. The back row, so a little bit of bounce back for a couple of guys. Sean Lane, 62. He looked dangerous. There was a couple of times he almost got through. Tigers players were just holding on, so good signs for Sean Lane. His base was up, a couple more tackle busts. So yeah, happy to hold. Kai Pearce-Paul, beautiful, 65. Again, pretty much all in base. He's not getting used as much as I would like in attack, but he's still scoring 65 points. You just know he's going to get a couple of tries, a couple of try assists with an offload. He is a lock in the back row for sure. Beau Fermor, gotta go. He's gotta go. 39 points. Yeah, very frustrating watching Fermor. I mean, the Titans were, again, pretty god-awful. Obviously, Fafita came back, and Fafita went straight back onto the left edge. Obviously, it's not great for Fermor anyway, but regardless, Fermor just wasn't getting the ball. It's been weird because Fermor, the carries he does, they're strong carries. He usually bumps off one, he makes good ground. He'll get over that 10-meter meters gain mark, or 8 meters for Supercoach, but he always has good carries, but he just doesn't get the ball. So yeah, he's got to go. I have no confidence. He's still at a good price. He dropped a little bit of cash, but he's still at a good price that downgrading to a Joe Chan frees up a bunch of cash. So honestly, it works out pretty well. Tupanua, he scored a try. He's got to make a bit more cash. He's surviving. Morgan Smithies, 43. I'm happy. I know a lot of people are going to try to trade out Smithies, and fair enough, because he's going to score 40, 45 points every week, I think, which is not great. But at the end of the day, he's not really going to change much price. So at the moment, he's just going to be a bit of depth in the team. If I need him, I'll play him. But if not, he'll just sit there and wait for either a downgrade or an upgrade opportunity. I'm not in any urgency to trade him out. Benny Trbojevic, similar. He's obviously cheaper. It's not good. He's playing 50 minutes and then getting subbed out for what's his name? I've completely blanked. The Manly bench. I know him. It'll come to me at some point. But yeah, he's getting subbed out at 50 minutes. And it's just not... He's just a no-go. But at the end of the day, he's still dual centre wing 2RF, which is very handy for swinging a second rower or a centre winger. So I think, again, similar to Smithies, he's not... He lost a bit of cash, but I think this is about his price now. His break-even's 37. I think... he might go down a little bit, but 300k I think is about his price, unless he can jag a couple of attacking stats. If he does and he makes a bit of cash, sure, I would be keen to trade him off, but sitting around that 300k, I think I'm just going to hold him in the team for a little bit, at least for the flexibility, until he potentially loses the spot. So yeah, Trbojevic, I'm just happy to hold for the time being. Again, he's not great. You don't want to be playing him in your 17, but he's not the worst AE. 30 points, it's fine. If he just jag an attacking stat, it'd be lovely. But they do take on Penrith this week, so not ideal for Ben. Our halves, so Nico Hines bang back with a 94. He did get that late try assist, which is nice. It's got like 30 odd points. He had no try assists. I don't know. I mean, I'm happy to hold him. Like, I don't know. There's no other halfbacks, dude. Everyone's keen to sell him, but I mean, Hughes this week, sure. Hughes is probably the most, but even Hughes doesn't kick goals. Like, the Storm are looking really good, and Hughes is always solid, but yeah, I don't know. I'm happy to hold Hines. Luke Brooks, 29 points. It was bound to happen. I know a lot of people would have traded Brooks in last week for Cleary. Obviously, that stings, but I'm still very happy with the trade of Brown down to Brooks. Obviously, Brown only got like 40 odd. So yeah, I mean, you knew a low score was coming for Brooks. The issue was that it was against the Dragons, and now they got Penrith. So not the best timing. You would have expected Manly to do well against the Dragons, not to be, and that leads into my captaincy. But not great, but it is what it is. I'm not, it happens, and it was always, as soon as Manly stopped scoring points, it was going to happen. Any half, especially that doesn't kick goals, if they're not getting try assists and tries, like, it's going to be a bit of a rough time. And he also had it was the fucking weekend of negative stats. I don't know how many. I didn't look, but he must have had so many negative and missed tackles, dude. He got bumped off so many times. Like, honestly, I think probably like -10. So the score is maybe a little deceiving just with the amount of negatives he had. Also, Trebojevic had so many negatives. Oh my sweet Jesus. It was, honestly, that was probably the most frustrating game I've ever watched. It for like Supercoach reasons, for sure. Like that, I mean, there's been times where I've had a captain and I had Cleary when he got sent off as captain. And I fucking had Cleary and his captain when he did his hammy in the first 20 minutes. They're bad, but that game, it was just so frustrating. Like, it was just so frustrating to watch. But yeah, Manly back down to earth a little bit with that defeat. The 5'8", oh my goodness. Lockie Galvin, 66 with a sin bin. So, I mean, take away the sin bin, he's 80 plus, like -10, but also he had 10 minutes off the field. Galvin is like unreal. Very annoyingly though, with the sin bin here, he is now he is 2 weeks out of the game, which is very frustrating because the Tigers take on the Dolphins this week, which would be a beautiful matchup for Galvin. Ethan Strange, 46 points. I mean, pretty good. I don't think he had really any attacking stats. They take on Parramatta. So, I mean, not the worst matchup for Ethan Strange. So, I mean, I'll happily play Ethan Strange. But yeah, disappointing that Galvin's gone for 2 weeks. But I don't know, man. Like, is he an actual keeper? It's only been 3 weeks, but We'll see. He's a young kid. I wouldn't be shocked to see him, top out and then come back down to earth a little bit and have a couple of poorer games. But you never know. He could keep performing. So we will wait and see when he comes back from suspension. But happy with the dual fucking cheapy 5'8" at the moment. They're scoring better than every other 5'8" in the goddamn comp at the minute. Our backline, so this is where it was up and down. So Val Holmes had vice captaincy on him, 59 points. Again, he had so many negatives. Like, he had a couple of drops. He had a few missed tackles. Like, oh my word. It could have been so much better. Obviously, the Bronx played really well. The Cowboys were, they were atrocious. I mean, I know Val scored a try, but I think it was off a kick, so he didn't get a line break. And that's Holmes. He's scoring 50 points basically in like a pretty terrible game. So I'm very, very happy I got Holmes in. I mean, he went up a bunch of cash still. He only went up 13k. So if you didn't get him last week, you could still potentially get him this week because they do take on the Titans. But yeah, still very, very happy to get Holmes in. Dom Young, 30 points. It is what it is. They were playing Penrith. I was expecting a little bit better. the fact that Penrith had a lot of their players out, but still, I knew they were going to be strong defensively, so I wasn't expecting the world from Dom Young. But getting him in early, I think, is still the... I think it was still the play. I mean, it could not necessarily come back to bite me, because in like the worst case scenario, if Dom Young just doesn't really do anything the next couple of weeks, I could literally just trade him back to Cleary when Cleary's back after the bye. Obviously, it's not the most ideal use of a trade, but took a punt play on Dom Young. If it doesn't pan out, get rid of him after he's made more cash. But we'll see. Hopefully, he does come good. They take on the Bulldogs, and then they have a couple of other good games coming up, the Roosters. So that's what we're looking for. And then Taylor May, 27 points. Honestly, I'm shocked. First couple of weeks for Taylor May, you're like, he's a 50 at worst type of guy. Like the break tackles, the base, but I don't know what's happened. Like he's gone off the boil. I don't know. I'm not really considering trading him out just because of the price he's at, and just other positions in the team I think are more pressing. But yeah, I mean, if he doesn't start coming good, like he is going to start leaking cash and whatnot. But I don't know. I feel like I'd be shocked if he doesn't turn it around. Like I don't really know. I mean, again, Penrith without Cleary, without a couple of their big guns, just couldn't get involved in the game. I mean, if you look, 67, 53, and then the 30 against the Bronx. He only played the 66 minutes there, and then 27 in 80 minutes. So yeah, I don't know. It is what it is. They got the bye in round 6, obviously, so we'll get a week and then a bye. But I'm not like looking to trade him out at the moment, but you don't want your 400 to 500k centre wingers stinking it up too much. But again, I mean, I got Dom Young. He got 30 points at almost 700k, so it's fine. And then Jackie Bostock. Oh man, the cheapy prodigy right here, dude. Like, I mean, he was sort of the best of the bad bunch, I think, for the cheapies to start the year, or at least one of the better ones, just because of the job security. I was not expecting a lot because of just his base is not good. But the Dolphins have had a beautiful run to start the season, like Cowboys, Dragons, Gold Coast. That's a pretty good start to the year. And then even Tigers, Broncos, Parramatta, Newcastle, Cowboys again, Manly, West. Like it's a pretty good draw for the Dolphins, and Bostock and Hammer have been causing havoc down that left hand side. So Bostock 84 points, played him this week. Love to see it. Roger Tuvashek 58 points. Oh man, I mean, this is one of those games where it could have been so much more for Roger. Like he looks so dangerous. Just the break tackles, the potential there for him. But I mean, I'll take 58 points. Obviously, a lot of people captain Roger as well. So this is what I was talking about. Like after Tommy stunk it up, I was praying that Roger, even though he was in my team, I was hoping that he didn't have a massive game, because a lot of people had captained him, and he went as good as I wanted him to. 58 points. Tommy, I mean, what do you say? Kalen Ponga, 117. You love to see it. A lot of people have traded him out. I'm sure they're going to look to bring him back in for a good draw coming up. But yeah, held firm on Ponga, and he has repaid the faith with the last couple of weeks, thankfully. And yeah, Tommy, it's one of the worst games I've seen Tommy play since like his opening couple of seasons. Like, I remember when he first came into the league, he was notorious for a couple of errors. Like he would drop a simple ball, high kicks, he would have some trouble, but he got that out of his game. But this game, oh my God, the amount of drop balls from nothing, just a pass to him, he dropped. It started so well too. Oh fuck, dude. the amount of just the happiness. The first 4 minutes, he got a try assist. He could have scored himself, but he got a magic offload for a try assist. Basically like 30 points that play in 4 minutes. And I was like, oh, here we go. This could be anything. And he scored like 20 points the rest of the game. So many drop balls. Just, he was trying hard. Like a little bit of concern. Like, I don't know if it was just fatigue or cramping or what, but he looked a little bit he looked a little lame in that second half. Like, he just... Yeah, I don't know. He just looked a little hobbly, in my opinion. I don't know. It may have been fatigue. Like, he was trying. He was trying hard. He was bobbing up all over the place, but they just... I mean, Manly as a whole just they just were terrible. Like, their attack was just... I don't even know. They started so well, and it just fell apart. I mean, you got to give credit to the Dragons, obviously, but yeah, Manly were atrocious. Again, I know a lot of people are going to look to trade Tommy out. They got Penrith this week. I don't know. I think I have more pressing trades. I think I'm just going to hold firm on Trbojevic, probably, because I sort of already had my trades in mind for this week. So what I was looking at, well, yeah, honestly, they sort of, this week is a bit of a money-making week with some cheapies. So Blaze Talangi in the centre wing. I mean, the Eels lost, but I thought Talangi was pretty good. He looked dangerous. He scored 40-odd. I mean, I don't know. There was... Obviously, the fact they lost, there is a little bit of potential doubt if he keeps the spot in the halves. They might put like Brendan Haynes to 7, Dylan Brown back to 6. That would be a bit of a kick. But if Talangi is named, I mean, you have to go Talangi. And it just like if Tuapiki somehow gets back into the team, if Charnzy's still gone, then Tuapiki will stay and we'll just go Gagai to Talangi. If Tuapiki or if Charns is back, then Tuapiki straight downgrade to Talangi. Frees up a bit of cash. Our second row, obviously Fermor, he's got to go. He's going to start losing bulk cash. I mean, his break-even's only 43. He's not going to lose a lot of cash quickly. I mean, I don't know. What is Tupanua's break-even? 36? I mean, it's either Fermor or Tupanua. Oh, look at the draws coming up. Yeah, I don't know. Fermor is probably a safer play. Tupanua, like, without the try. Yeah, I don't know. Either one of these guys, though, trade to Chan. That frees up 200k in the bank. And then our third trade, because I think we will use a boost, is probably just going Hughes to Xavier Willison. We'll look at any other front row forward options, but I think Hughes to Willison is the play. I don't love to use a boost on it, but we did save a boost the week before, so I could just do that. I guess if we didn't do that, we could look at potentially Tommy Trbojevic. I mean, you could do worse than fucking Clint Gutherson. There's always a time to get in Clint Gutherson, and it's usually around Origin, but especially if Moses is out, it's like Gutherson just goes to another level and he kicks goals. So fuck, you could do worse than going Gutho, but yeah, we'll have a closer look at that. But I think Talangi, if he's named, obviously is definitely in, and Joe Chan, if he's named, is definitely in. So that'll free up cash, and then it's just a matter of if we use the boost to bring in someone like a Gutho. But do you get rid of Tommy? I mean, I know they got Penrith. Then they got New Zealand, Gold Coast, Para. I don't know. Like, it's up and down. And their first buy is in round 13. Then you'd probably trade him out. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to have a look. Because is it worth using a boost to get in Willison? It probably is, because he's going to make good cash. And obviously Sam Hughes... Like, the thing with Sam Hughes is that he's becoming an issue. Like, scoring 13 to 20 points is a terrible AE score. So I think that's probably the play. But again, we'll have a closer look come after team list and the round 5 preview. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the wrap up here. We're starting to move. We're the team is looking good. I know I talked a bit about it before that, you want to start saving trades. I think this week and probably next week, potentially next week. I don't know. We'll see what happens next week. But this week especially, we'll be using max trades. And then next week, maybe we'll use 2 trades. But then after that, we want to start saving a couple. You know, you want to start saving a couple. You don't want to keep going sideways to guys. Obviously, Nathan Cleary is going to be priority to get in after their bye. But then we don't want to make too many trades that we don't have to. So we're going to try to fix the team, you know, to a standard. I mean, I'm pretty happy with the team. The depth is really good. Like, I'm pretty happy, all things considered. It's just, yeah, we want to start, once it's all good to go, don't just make trades for the sake of it. Start saving a couple of trades to give us a bit of a good run of it at the end, especially because we're coming from a long way back. We want to finish strong. You know, we want to have that last couple of rounds of the season. We have a few trades up our sleeve to go big. But yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying. Make sure to like and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.